This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. We continue our series on Sexual Assault Awareness Week and how to put a stop to it. This morning we have Dr. Kurt Brungart, a professor at Fort Hays State University. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you very much.
So you were actually invited by Truman State University to come speak to an all-male kind of like town hall meeting. So kind of explain how that went last night.
I thought it was excellent. There's roughly about 200 men, university men there. And we believe there's a growing movement, international movement of engaging men in reducing violence against women. For too long, we've had women talking to women and not enough men talking to men. And the education and prevention work needs to move beyond how not to be assaulted to working with perpetrators or potential perpetrators. And typically they're male, not always, but usually male. And so we talk to men about their responsibilities in this issue.
All right. Now go ahead and talk about the role that men need to play in order to put a stop to this.
A number of roles. One is that they need to live a life of integrity and be upstanding men and be compassionate men, to break out of some of the negative sides of masculinity that are dangerous and violent. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is they need to be positive role models for other men, especially younger brothers, nephews, that kind of thing, but also older men as well. Third is they need to be active bystanders. When they see something that's not appropriate, instead of covering for your buddy, that you get involved in the issue and you prevent the violence. And so those are the key elements that need to happen, and that we talked about creating a culture on campus of men doing that kind of stuff.
And so like you just said that you always hear women talking to women about this issue, and now we're doing men on men and letting them know the issue and what they can do. Why do you think it's so important to spread awareness across the country, especially college campuses?
Well, let me tell you, you don't know my story, is that my daughter was a law student at the University of Kansas when she was murdered 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so clearly college campuses are violent places for women and for men, but primarily for women. 20% of all women will be sexually assaulted or be attempted in their college experience. And not only that, but of course dating violence that happened to my daughter. And so clearly universities need to take this issue more seriously. Congress and the President recently signed the Campus Save Act, which really increases the prevention work done on college campuses. And so we just need to make sure that young women have a safe place to go to school, and that's not always the case.
So tell us a little bit more about your work. We spoke a little bit during commercial break, and you say that you travel and you do a lot of this.
Yes, my wife and I are both college professors at Fort Hays State, and we created a foundation called Janice Campaign, and we travel the country when we can between our jobs. And we speak at high schools, middle schools, but we also speak on college campuses primarily. And my emphasis is to focus on men and the role that men play. And I talk to sixth graders to senior citizens about the role that men can play in this issue. And that word needs to get out. There's a growing movement among men to do this work, and I'm excited in seeing the progress of that being done.
Fantastic. And what we'll do is we'll post that link to Janice Campaign on our website at heartlandconnection.com, and we'll also post your other work. Thank you so much, Dr. Kurt, for coming on, and safe travels back to Kansas today.
Thank you. Appreciate the invite.
And we'll be right back.